toddler.
But we're gonna jump. We're gonna jump into the game
Sherlock.
now because we have to, because
problem.
we're late and the incredibly large audience is demanding we start the game. So
Do we really have to?
fine, audience, you have twisted my leg. We'll start. So
Right.
last time we left off, you guys had finished your long and rather difficult case one. Finally figuring out who is behind the strange drug that was plaguing the lower parts of the city, snatching young men and women off the streets and turning them into brain-dead monsters. You came face to face with the creator of this drug, a woman by the name of Esper Lemur. You outwitted her, outmatched her, and defeated her, both her and her henchmen. And as she cast her entire home base, I guess, or her refuge, the theater of the Asphodel Theater, she destroyed herself whilst letting you all flee. Well, trying to kill you, but you got out. Since then, you've been recovering, trying to figure out what is going on, when, as you are planning and figuring things out and having a nice talk over the information that you've gathered, trying to get a bit of rest time in between all this chaotic nonsense, the chaotic nonsense itself comes right to your front door and kicks it in, shattering the glass and stepping in, a gale of wind surrounding it as Gillian Gale steps in and asks you to be murderers for him. See, a friend of his, someone who matters to him a lot, has been hurt recently, very hurt, and he wants revenge. He asks you to murder someone for him. Doesn't deign to give much information, but agrees that he will keep in contact with you, Jasmine, and that at some point he will give you more information. As to that, he stands up and leaves. The gale of air surrounding him as he tries to make each of you forget him, and manages to do so for a lot of you. However, some of you manage to grip onto his first name and a bit of his second name as he disappears into the night. After that, you guys set about following your own business. A new and rather mysterious series of crimes have started. Someone is breaking statues. Not really as big as the last time, which was murder, but it's still a crime that has to be solved. There's been several incidents so far. The statue in Kingstown, brand new statue put up quite recently, has been destroyed. A statue in the university has been broken down and destroyed. A statue in the house of the Donnellys, this rather prestigious kind of family in the sort of the higher parts of Yarnsdale, has also been broken into and destroyed. And a statue in the City Museum has been destroyed. With all of this chaos going on, you guys begin to formulate a plan for how to figure this out and decide the best thing to do is to go and visit the Donnelly Manse and figure out what happened to them, as they're the most recent location of the most recent sabotage. And that is where we'll pick up, with Elizabeth Weiss heading over to meet Arabella Veros, with Jasmine Wright going to... Where are you going, Jasmine?
Jasmine was going to just work at the pub as she awaits what the others, if the others have any success.
Right. Whilst Ned and Dante head on to the Donnelly Manse. And when that picks up, I'm going to get a intro / monologue from, well, Dante we had last time. Ned or Jasmine, please. Who wants to give it a go?
Can we get an analog?
I'm ready.
Do you want to give a go? Okay, Ned is going to give the
I
monologue.
don't have anything planned, but
Go for it.
let's.
Improv, bitch. What is Ned feeling?
It's just there's a voiceover as is walking along down a road. Because remember, I think at the end of last session, he already was there, and they told him to go away. So now he's just at a cafe next to it or something, and just sitting there waiting. Um. Man, some weird shit has been going down lately, huh? I don't know how I feel about all of it, but it's definitely nothing I've ever seen before. I must say, as weird as it all is, it feels like half, 2 cards of me belong here, and the other 2 cards of me don't want to die. I really feel like I'm gonna die. And now Todd's here too. And I'm starting to think that I should probably... I have no idea what I'm doing. And now that Todd's here, and he has no idea what he's doing either, at least we have no idea what we're doing together. Everyone else seems to know what they're doing, though. At least a little bit. And that's all I have planned. Yeah.
Okay. As the camera is upon you, it is a rather overcast day. It seems summer has returned once more behind the clouds. You sit inside of a rather grimy but pleasant little cafe in Yarnsdale. Yarnsdale tends to have good cafes as far as they go. And the person who's running this one puts at least the effort into making your cup of coffee look nice with a bit of that weird swirl thing. They do that effort. A number of people sort of you can see are whispering and like pointing and like, oh my god, is that Ned Halford? Oh my god. You asked for his autograph. I'm not asking for his, and they're talking away like that. But none of them can pluck up the courage to actually go and ask for your autograph. As the time passes by, Dante.
I would like to do something on the bus before arriving to Yarnsdale and meeting with Ned. I want to give a short call to James.
Okay. By the way, the Ullmanoch buses, one thing can be said for Ullmanoch, it's public transport. It's pretty reliable, but it's usually heavily packed. And quite, you're usually sort of, you're pressed up against the window with someone right beside you, like an old Russian woman or something looking through her groceries. But yeah, this time of day might be a bit more, what are you imagining?
I'm imagining not just the time of day, but it's weird, but people maybe start giving Dante a bit more space.
I think they do.
Now and then. And he's just sitting and sees someone cedes his sitting place to them, just gets up and calls James.
Okay. So you're calling James. You dial the number, and after a couple of minutes, you hear the hello?
James!
Hi, Dante.
How are you, mate?
I'm good.
Are you? That's good to hear.
Yeah. How are you?
I wouldn't say good, mate, but that's a general condition in my case. You sound a bit worried. Is everything all right?
No, not worried, but confused. What did you say to him?
I told him to be smart.
Right.
Why? What's happened?
It's nothing. It's just It's nothing. It's nothing.
You can trust me, James. If it's something that bothers you, you can come to me with it.
I had someone bump into me today, and usually he takes control at that point, and I don't have to. I get a bit scared, but this time he didn't, and it felt a different kind of scared. Do you know what I mean? Like this person said some things to me, and I didn't feel safe anymore.
I see. Well, we have to talk about that sometime, don't we? I think what's going on with you and our friend is a bit complicated, but I have some ideas. I need a favor from you, mate.
Yeah, of course.
You said Anselm was a bit broken up about what happened.
Yeah, he's struggling, I think, a bit.
I want you to give him my phone number. Tell him to call me. Tell him I want to extend an olive branch.
Are you sure?
Yeah. Tell him he can help.
Okay. I'll do that.
Cheers, mate. I'd really appreciate it. And, look, the thing about being safe, it's a dangerous idea to convince yourself you are. You understand? Look at the Wicker Hound. Nobody was truly safe there.
Yeah.
A bit of a lie, wasn't it?
I just don't want to feel small again.
You won't. That's up to you. You can change that.
Okay. I've got to go. I've got classes.
I know. Call me if you need me. All right?
I will.
Don't hesitate.
I will.
All right. Be good, James.
I will.
And Dante will hang the phone, yeah.
Phone goes off. Okay. Is that all you're doing, Dante?
Well, I mean, I'm right. I was assuming you'd switch to Jasmine. I kind of took a lot of time.
Right. Just making sure. Jasmine, whilst you are at your pub, is there anything specific you are doing?
Yeah, I've taken some of the wooden pallets that the latest wine delivery came on, and I have now covered the entire lavatory room in wooden pallets.
Okay.
So even if it gets all muddy and stuff, at least people don't have to wade through it.
You put down the wooden pallets, and it takes a good while. Maggie working with you. You're hammering away, you're sort of screwing these things down. Finally, by the end of it, you're both panting, sweat-covered. She has her sleeves rolled right up, and her hair is sort of like wild and askew, and she kind of looks like a little bit like a mountain goat. It's very bizarre. She looks like sort of a short, stocky mountain goat. It's kind of weird. And as you look to her, she goes, "Hey, there's not a chance of getting out of there right now."
Yeah. Honestly, I don't think we can do anything more than this.
Can I see it doing that now?
Sorry?
Can I see it doing that now?
I'm not sure if Jasmine would get this, but I, as a person, definitely don't.
She knows the dialogue enough to say, "I can't see about that, though." I can't. Canny is Scottish.
Well, either way, this should be enough for today. If not, I'm going to get order a porta potty.
Okay. She sort of nods and she goes, "Well, sure, you're not there's a way. You ought to get sorted by the time you'll be way mine out." She nods,
Right.
slaps you on the shoulder, and hands out. She goes, "Give us a pint, will you?"
Of course. I'm gonna I'm gonna walk over to the bar, get her a pint, and is there anyone else in the bar right now?
Looking around, in terms of your patrons, there is rather few. There's. It seems like you're running low on normal patrons. As far as not normal patrons, you have quite an abundance of not normal patrons. Some of whom are actually familiar to you. You see one or two, an old woman and a man with a horn strapped to his waist, who you recognize from the Wicker Hound. Who are sort of over by a wall that has currently got a bit of grass growing out of it, though you are sure you like properly got rid of all of the grass in this place. I'm afraid you didn't, because there's still some there, and yeah, they just seem to be talking, as far as you can tell.
Yeah. Do they still both have a drink?
They both have a drink. They seem to be deep in conversation, but you can tell that it's definitely conversation that's from the other side.
All right.
If that makes sense. They're not talking about the weather.
Yeah, no. And are there any people that are currently alone? Sitting at the bar or something? Yeah.
You see, there was one person sitting at the bar alone. Sort of a young, sort of lithe-looking woman. Kind of looks like there's something about her that's very bare, as if like she's survived off very little for a very long time, as if her muscles have sort of tight and taut, and as if she sort of like barely had enough to get by on. She's wearing long, slick trousers that sort of flare a bit at the bottom, but they're dusty and worn out. She has a vest over a dark shirt, and she has a sort of jacket over that, and there's something weighty in the pocket of her jacket, and she's bent over her beer. Long, tangled black hair sort of like cascading over it.
After giving Maggie a beer, I'm going to go to the bar and towards the woman sitting there. So say, right.
What do you want?
Just I think it's the first time I've seen you here, right?
I am new. Is it a
Right.
problem?
Oh, not at all. No. Just checking in. Just
Right.
I like to have a little talk with my patrons from time to time. Get to know them,
Talk about what?
Oh, anything really. Can be the weather, can be things on your mind, can be just the latest celebrity gossip. Whatever you fancy.
I don't follow celebrities. I don't follow gossip. Unless it is gossip that is interesting to people like you and me. She looks around, she goes, "You have a nice place here. Very homely." And she sort of reaches out, and that you can see that there's like a daisy growing out of the bar, and she just sort of like twirls around her fingers, plucks it, and goes.
Right, yeah. I think that came with the customers.
Your customers are very dirty.
Oh, not at all. No. It seems to be there ever since it's gotten more, well, homely as you put it, more of
Abnormal.
us have started showing up. Sorry?
Abnormal is what I say.
Abnormal. Oh, my bad. Yeah.
Normal is such a disgusting word. Don't you agree?
Ooh. Well, I mean, it's definitely become more foreign to me lately.
She looks you up and down. She goes, "So, What can you do?
I am a good talker. I help people with their issues, and that's pretty much my deal. What about you?
I have a knife that can cut through, well, pretty much anything.
All right.
But it only listens to me. It is very rude.
Hold on. I gotta see this. And she starts rummaging around in the lost and found box behind below the bar, looking for like something that's been there for quite some time, something very hard. Can she find something right there?
I'm gonna roll a D100. So,
Right.
what specifically are you looking for?
Just the hardest thing possible. Something that would be
The
very
oddest
difficult to
thing
get through.
possible. Right. Higher it is, the odder it is.
All right. The hardest thing.
Hardest.
Yes, the thing that would be the most difficult to cut through with a knife.
Right. Okay.
What we got? Oh, that's an 81. Ooh.
You find someone has left behind a diamond engagement ring.
How long has it been there for?
Pretty long time. It's not like a good diamond. It's a bad diamond, but it's still a diamond.
Still, that is a story.
You try to recall it, and you remember that it was in a bit of a row. There was a drunken night. You're not sure if it was left or if it was thrown.
All right, and she takes the ring out from under the bar, puts it down in front of her, and she says, "Got a pint for free for you if you manage to get cut this one in half."
She says, "It's a good deal." She slips the knife out, and you were expecting something thin and delicate. This is like almost a machete. It's like it's fucking thick as anything. She takes it up and flicks it heavily through her finger. It sort of goes round once in her finger. She goes, "Allez, get it." And she just gently places the knife, and at like a knife through butter, it just goes through the diamond ring. And through the but it does not damage the table at all. It just goes through the diamond ring and through the metal. She goes, puts it into the side. "Where's my beer?"
Right away, with a big grin on her face, Jasmine pours her a beer, and as she puts it in front of her, she says, "Jasmine Wright."
Emilia.
Well,
Are you single?
Been for quite some time, yeah.
She takes her beer, downs it, puts it down, stands up, sighs, and goes, "Keep it that way." And she goes and heads for the door.
All right, have a good one.
And you watch as she leaves. And as she leaves, you see that where she has cut the knife into the bar, there is a symbol of a rose cut into the wood with thorns surrounding it.
Oh, all right.
And with that, we're going to jump away to Elizabeth Weiss. Where you were going, what are you doing?
Last thing, I was heading to a barber shop.
You are heading to a barber shop to get a haircut. That's it.
Sure, that's it. No, yeah. So after the little texting fiasco, she put her car back on the road and went to the barbershop. Once there, she'll just like park her car and first look through the window if anyone is inside.
Okay. The window of the Fallen Barbershop is it's like a barbershop window. It's massive. You step out of your car and you can instantly see the lights are off, the door is closed. There is no one in the barbershop.
I go and knock on the door.
You
Or
step
if there's a
closer, and
doorbell.
as you go and you knock, you reach out your hand to knock, and you see that the thin sort of curtains that covers the front part of her establishment from the back, there is shadows moving behind them. And there is a faint light.
I go and knock.
Long silence.
I keep knocking. There's no silence.
You keep knocking. You continue to knock for like at least 10 minutes, maybe more, before finally the curtains open and you see this just like the second there was light as the fingers curled around the curtains, and as the curtains go, there's just darkness behind her. And you watch as Arabella Veros is standing there. She's dressed in sort of like what seems to be like sports kit, though there's speckles of some stuff across her, and she's wearing like a long trailing robe. And as she sees you, she sort of like raises an eyebrow, looks at you. With this like little clothes on, you can see that she is covered in tattoos. They're arcing all over her abdomen, down her legs, and over up her arms. And they are frightening tattoos. A mismatch of like curling faces, twisted in screams, bloody knives, and all sorts of violent imagery. She steps forward and she goes and closes the thing there, pulls the robe closer around her, ties it, steps over to the window and goes through the window so you can just hear it muffled. She goes, "What do you want?
Where's Grace?
Why do you want to talk to Grace?"
You're his messenger. I just need to talk to him. I need to see him. Where is he?
Right, you want to talk to Grace, huh?
Where is he? I'm really not leaving until I know where he is.
I don't know where he is. I don't know. I never know where he is.
You know how to reach him, at
I know how
least.
to reach him, but I know where he is. But I can send him a message if that's what you want.
Well, I need to talk to him. Just, I don't want to bother you with it. Just get a grip on him and, I just need to talk to him. I don't need to talk to you. I don't need to bother you. Clearly, you were doing something else. Just contact him. I need to meet him, tonight.
You want a
I'm
haircut?
not leaving until I do.
You want a haircut?
I'm sorry. No, I am here to find Grace.
Do you want a haircut?
No, what is your thing?
She looks at you and meets you in the eyes. Do you want a haircut?
What do you want me to say? Do I have to come in?
Fucking newbies. She reaches out and she undoes the thing and swings the door open. The second she does, this smell hits you, and you're expecting to smell like sweat and... No. It's like the strong stink of panic, violence, and sudden fear. She sort of opens the door and wafts. Goes, "Sorry about that. Take a seat."
She goes inside, but she stands and she crosses her arms and just says, "Just get in contact with Grace. I'll be out of here in no time."
I can't get Grace for you unless you take a seat and I cut your hair.
What? You have a phone? I'm sure you do. Look, as if there is something I'm not getting here, just say it out loud.
You don't reach someone like Grace over the phone.
I'm pretty sure you can talk to him more than we can. I'm sure there's
a way I talk to him. And it's by you having a haircut.
What? Underneath her breath, she mutters what is up with these people? Okay, look, if I get your kinks out, will you contact Grace for me so that I can talk to him tonight?
Oh, right, yeah. You think this is sexual? That's the way it is.
No, look, there's a lot of ways someone can find pleasure that is not sexual. Trust me, I am fine with that. If that's your thing, you do what you do. I just need to talk to Grace.
I've told you what you can do. You want to speak to him? That's how we do it. You don't want to speak to him? Fine. Leave. There's a reason why I cut each of your hair before each mission.
There's like a light that flashes in like her head. For just a minute, she's like, "So you can't talk to him on your own unless you." Oh,
No.
that's not convenient.
No.
Why do you work with
I
him?
have to work around it. It's very frustrating. But with employment like Mr. Grace, you don't complain. You do what he says, you do it well, and you do it promptly, and you keep continuing to function. So, do you want a haircut?
There's gonna be like a small silence there as Elizabeth's like facial features get like more serious. She's like, I get that. You do what you do to survive.
We
Fine.
all do. Some people's survival is ugly, like mine, and some people's survival is pretty, like yours.
If you think my life is pretty, then I'm pretty sure we could have a nice talk or something.
It's prettier than mine, I tell you that.
I believe you.
Have a seat.
She's gonna sit.
You slide into the seat and she reaches down and goes, "Any choice of knife?" It doesn't matter to anyone but me, but helps me judge your character. She turns around, she's holding a plate of several knives, first of which is a long, curved Arabic knife with a lion head on the bottom. The other is a flick knife, like a barber shop, simple, like a shaving knife for shaving someone's face, slit throat knife. The other one is what looks like someone's taken a combination of like a knife and a fucking fish hook, like it's a gutting type thing. It's covered in hooks and all this. You don't get how many of these things would be good for cutting hair, but she's showing it to you. The last one is a very simple, very normal looking knife. No hilt to it, just a handle that is made of rough, sweat-covered wood, and a dirty iron blade.
Again, there's like this moment that Elizabeth really doesn't get this, but hey, it's her thing. So she says, "Switchblade."
Switchblade. Refined woman. She reaches down.
More like it's something you can hide easily and have on you at all times.
Yeah, but you don't get to use it. I use it.
No, I know, but it's the reason why I chose it. It's not because it's refined.
I mean, fair enough, but it is refined. It's elegant. It's a gentleman's, well, mode of enamoring himself, making himself look pretty.
Sure, I mean, if there's something more elegant between these things, it has to be the first one, right? It's curved, it has a lion head. Most people would say that's the most elegant one.
The knives are always different, darling. She flicks the knife
Right.
open and it glimmers in the light. She goes, "But I do like this one." All right, sit back.
She follows, but I'm just checking one thing. All right. Elizabeth's gonna she's gonna try to keep not just like the senses, her normal senses, but just like everything in her that is attentive. She's gonna try to keep open because from the moment this woman like this has something to do with her powers or whatever it is that we all have, her special little thing. For a moment, that she feels like she's somehow doing something that is in her otherworldly powers or something that has to do with that, some kind of pleasure she's getting out of it, or some kind of connection. She wants to keep her eyes and, well, otherworldly feelings open. And if that moment happens, I want to use my powers as well to try and get a glimpse at her.
Right. She sits you
Only,
down.
yeah,
Yeah, go.
sorry, just to justify, only if I feel like she is somehow pulling on her powers. They're not just human.
Okay.
Only if I feel like that happens, then I will do it. I will not use my powers on her if I feel like she's not doing the same.
Okay. Do you sit?
Mm-hmm.
You sit. She goes, undo your hair.
P.S. Elizabeth's hair is always just...
Undone. Okay. So I took it from the image of her. It's up, but yeah. Okay. She takes like several strands of your hair in her hand, the long flowing red hair flowing through her fingertips. So she flicks the knife up and she goes, think of your question. Hold it in your mind. What do you want to ask him? Ask it now. She starts to cut.
All right. Does she have to... Well, she has it in her head. Does she have to say it out loud?
What do you think?
I think about the open window and... Hey, I thought no threatening was going to happen to Allison.
She continues to cut, Arabella, and for a moment she goes, as she's about 2 or 3 cuts in, she goes, when did this happen?
Literally, she didn't say it out loud, so the next thing she thinks is last night.
Were you hurt? Was she hurt?
No, just threatening. No hurting.
Threatening is against what I stand for. I made a promise. I do not break my promises. This
Yes,
is
well,
upsetting to me.
she's clearly not being kept safe, which is why I am doing all of this in the first place.
Arabella continues to shh as she shears free hair. She's now about a quarter through cutting your hair. No. If this has happened, then I admit I have failed you somewhat, but I promise you I will make this up to you. As I said, I made a promise. I will find what has done this, and I will... Well, what would you like done to this individual?
Do whatever you want. I don't care. Just make sure no one threatens Allison again, or you'll lose my cooperation. It's the only thing holding me in your employment.
I understand. It's not my intention for this ever to have happened, and I am deeply... And she says that, and as she says that, a bit of his voice comes through her mouth. Getting into the real world, goes deeply troubled by this, and it returns back to her normal voice again. I will find who did this, and I will make them pay. In return, I will offer one of my 2 to protect and guard Allison in the time being. My girl here is very good at pain. My boy is very good at, well, being intimidating. Whichever one you choose is up to you. She's halfway through your hair now.
I don't want anyone following her. She doesn't need to know any of this. All I need, if you want to do this, is, I don't know, Tristan can guard the house at night. You don't have to, no one has to follow her tail.
My dog will guard the house. He will keep it safe. He's good at that. Though, he is hard to communicate with. If anything like this happens again, anything at all, you come back to Arabella. You understand?
You know, it would be easier if you just have a cell phone.
It's a long silence. And there's a shh. And she's continued to cut. She's now 3/4 of the way through your hair. And the woman behind you goes, yeah, that would be easy, wouldn't it?
Two-way communication is always easier than one-way.
It is.
Oh, and one last thing. Don't send flowers again to my wife.
I was trying to be polite.
Polite is not what I would have called it. Threatening is again what I would have called it.
Things are taken as a threat when they're taken as a threat. It's not intended as such.
You can wilt flowers. You sent flowers to my wife. I see the irony there. I'm not blind.
She's getting close to the last strands of your hair as you say this, and the voice goes, oh, Elizabeth, I don't need to threaten anyone. And the last bits of hair come away and drift onto the ground. You look into the mirror and you see yourself, but with now shoulder-length hair. Arabella flips up the knife and slides it away, and she goes, right, you done?
Yeah, how does that feel for you?
You don't want to know. You ever had someone reach into some part of your brain and just sort of sit there like a big fat spider and pull all the strings?
Not quite in that sense, no.
It's not fun. But with a man like him, we all do what we have to. Now lead me to my revels, girl.
Yeah, Elizabeth is gonna stand and just say, you know, this may be really obvious, but I don't know if you also felt it. I'm gonna get to the point. I feel like we have something in common. Something more than just working for Grace.
I have something in common with all of you. We're all fucked. But yeah, I felt it. You're good at what you do.
I don't want to take up any more of your time with this conversation, but...
You started the conversation. I didn't start it.
If I'm honest, I don't even know what I do, and I think I can talk for some people in our group. There's a whole lot of shit out there that we don't know what we're doing or what we're getting into, but at the same time, there's a whole lot of shit inside of us that we don't know.
She turns and sort of folds her arms and takes a step towards you. She goes, what brought you into this? Why are you here? For your wife? For something more?
Price, you don't know yet, but we just had this whole conversation.
Oh, I know, but I want to know the truth of it. Is it for your wife? Is it really for your wife?
My wife is the only thing in my life that I would fight for or protect. Wouldn't even do that for myself.
Really? Must be nice to go off fighting for her, away from her and far away while you fight for her and protect her. I bet she's feeling very, very safe right now.
I hope she's not feeling anything about being safe or threatened or endangered. I hope she's just living her life without all of this shit. Because if I could have chosen, and I don't need to have pity or anything, because I know you probably have some really fucked up shit. But if I could have chosen not to know any of this, not to be involved, would have.
Let me give you some advice. Girl to girl, love isn't real. I've met at least 6 or 7 people who can make love like that. Make it and manufacture it and churn it out with their brains. It's made up. You're imagining it. She goes, if I were you, I'd forget it before it hurts you. Right. I'm done being the realist for the moment. I have to get back to my fucking revels. And she turns and starts walking towards the curtains.
Right. She doesn't utter another word and just also turns in silence and walks away.
The curtains open, and as she starts to step into the darkness, you turn at the door and see that what seems like shadowy hands are already curling over her neck and arms and sort of pulling her into the darkness. She turns back one last time. She goes, I hope you stay safe. She's gone into the darkness. The curtain's closing behind her.
The fucked up shit, I'm telling you. Alright. Phone out, group text. So what are we doing tonight? Question mark.
You send out that message and it arrives at Ned Halford's phone just as 2 sort of young school kids are sort of making their way over and handing you a piece of napkin and trying to say that they want your autograph, but all they manage to say is and shove this napkin to you. That's about it. Your phone goes off, Ned.
No problem, kids. And when I take the autograph, I say, thank you for being my adoring fans from Ned Halford, and I give them each a napkin. I do 2 napkins.
One of them grabs them, like goes, like seems to jig on the spot and runs away, and the other one sort of is holding it in shock, and then he goes, "My dad says you're crazy."
A lot of people say that. Honestly, it's getting kind of.
He says you're on drugs, and as he says
Can I
that,
say I walk
he
in
goes,
at this point?
Yeah, so actually, I will allow you to walk in at the point as the kid's going, he says you're on drugs, and then you hear, Marvin! And a woman starts to grab this, sorry, Mr. Halford, and she starts dragging him away.
Dante,
no problem.
overhearing this, will just come up to the kids, just kind of get up on as low as the kids and say, he is crazy, very, very crazy. Now piss off.
As she says that, you say piss off, and the mother sort of stares at you in shock, grabs her son and pulls him out of the way and goes and looks from Ned to you, and you can almost hear the Twitter post formulating Mr. Halford and friends with
Dante,
So-
come on, don't be that way. He's a loving, adoring fan. Gotta respect them. They're the whole reason I'm here.
I don't respect any of your fans. News at 6.
Man, you really suck. Anyway, here, have a coffee.
Nah.
That's
Dante orders a coffee. Another coffee, tea.
Okay.
Just black, no sugar.
It comes quite
Sits,
quite quickly.
sits down with Ned and says, we have some work to do before. Oh, yeah. Also texts back to Elizabeth in answer to her question. What are we doing tonight? He'll just say, your plan for Donnelly, man.
Oh yeah, about the Donnelly Mans. I went over there earlier, and they told me to go away and that he wasn't interested. But
That's all right. We might have to use you as a patsy, but if anything gets us in.
Oh, don't worry. I think everything will be. Well,
I'll just
one
whip
thing.
my phone out and I'll do the proper diligence, just Googling some things on the Donnellys and the mansion because we haven't done that.
Give me an investigation check. Whilst you do, have a quick tiny break, and then, give me an investigation.
All right. Before the break, can I ask you something? This is like, I hope you're recording locally because I don't think Twitch is. All right. What do I have? Doesn't miss a detail. I don't think there's anything else.
Doesn't miss a detail?
Can we say that I've been talking to I wasn't just sitting alone here.
No, you can be talking to people. Yeah, you can be talking to people.
The whole time everyone else was doing their very big daily routines. Can I say I was talking to the worker that gave me the coffee?
Yeah, you can. I'll jump straight to that conversation actually before after the break.
Yeah. I also want to clarify that the only reason Dante really told people to piss off is that so they wouldn't be eavesdropping on what we're about to talk about.
That's fine. Yeah, I'll be right back. One second.
Well, everyone is taking a break, so it's me and you for the halftime show. How's it going?
Hi.
I'm not taking a break.
Okay. Everyone except Matt for the halftime show. I gotta be honest, I have no idea what's going on. Like, I kind of zoned out.
That's all right.
I do.
Just Wilson.
Yeah. No, like I know that you trying to fix your toilet, and that's like your big thing today.
Right?
Yeah.
No, but also Jasmine will answer that message that Elizabeth sent shortly, so that might clear things up. What you're doing today. Hello there.
All right.
Okay. Did you make your investigation?
No, I was waiting for you. It's just a click.
Dun, 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 dun. 8. Dante doesn't fail again because his rolls are ridiculous.
My rolls are not ridiculous.
You've never failed a roll ever.
We just want to fail for one. Okay.
Okay, you get one clue, but it is a mild success, not a good success.
Yeah, I just want to know basic information about the Donnellys and about the statue they bought, if I may.
Right. Okay. You find out that. So first thing first, you try to find out about the Donnellys. You find out that there's no information on the statue whatsoever. The news report just says statue broken in the Donnelly Manse. Very expensive. No real information. Not even an artist's name. Which is a little bit bizarre. You continue to sort of look around. You find out that the Donnellys, very old family that have lived in Ullmanoch for centuries now. The only thing you find is that very recently, with the last generation of Donnellys, they have pretty much not left the house.
They're shut-ins.
They're shut-ins.
Okay.
You find 3 names I'm going to give you. You get Claire Marie Donnelly.
Claire Marie.
And...
That woman's name?
That's a woman's name.
Okay.
And Fraser Donnelly.
Well, I don't yet, because we're still waiting for Elizabeth to come by. Dante will lift his stare from the phone, look Halford dead in the eyes, and say, "Halford, what did you do with Piper?"
I was meaning to talk to you all about that. He's
Where is
currently enjoying a very nice residency while gold underneath my bed, but with Todd now being
in
here.
the hotel?
Yeah, Todd's now in my penthouse as well, and with room service.
all right.
The camera cuts to Todd still in the shower. Never gonna give you up. Never gonna let
like
you
5
down.
hours.
Halford, this is very important. How many people saw you bring him in?
I mean, no one with powers, and I think
That
after
doesn't
my
fucking matter. There's no
Maybe.
mention of the statue anywhere on the internet. Somehow the vandalizers knew where to find the statue and vandalize it. So it didn't have to be anyone with powers. It could have been any random witness thing.
well, it's still under my bed, and there, the same amount. I would say the same amount of people who saw us bring in the first Tasty Boy guy. All right, him. Around the same number of people. I don't.
Shit.
Maybe half of that amount.
Fuck.
It's okay, man. Don't worry about it. Realistically, they listen. With all
How
these
do you know it's
statues,
okay?
because not to brag, but my statues are a bit harder to break than whatever was in the
For
Donnelly
fuck's
man's
sake,
business.
Alfred.
We could go there now and fix it, but I'm sure it'll
Grace
still be
and
there when we
Varose
get back.
put us onto this case. You think we're dealing with something normal here?
No, I just think I'm even more special. Yeah.
Of course you do. Because you would.
I'm sure Alex Piper would want nothing better than to get his head chopped off while he's in statue form, but that's just not going to happen. I'm sorry. We're already here, and I've been waiting a long time. So, what's the next move?
It's like talking to your TV.
I get that a lot. Anyway,
The next move is we wait for Elizabeth. Then we head over and... I don't know. I'm probably
Jasmine.
going to point at you and say some things to them.
well, here's what I know about this thing, and I kind of was hoping that this would happen anyway, but Dante just said he would walk in. Well, I wanted to do like a whole conversation with the barista.
Yeah.
Because everyone got like
Definitely,
5 hours.
you can have had one. You can definitely have had one.
Yeah. I just asked them, should I roleplay the whole thing, or should I just...
She's a rather plump-looking woman called Miriam, who seems to not really know who you are, but can tell from people's reactions to you that you're famous. And immediately goes from being a bit doesn't give a shit to being overly friendly to you in the space of 5 or 6 seconds. What do you talk to her about?
Just in general, I say, 1 coffee, black please. And I get the coffee, and then it turns to gold in my hand on accident. Slip on accident. And
As it slips and hits the ground, doesn't break, she sees it happen and goes, "Oh, happens all the time, love, don't worry," and starts cleaning it up as if she never saw it turn to gold.
now I assume for the rest of this that she's not a rift, and I just ask her in general about Donnelly Mans and everything she knows as a local in the area.
Give me I'm going to give this investigation because it's not convinced. She's very easy. It's how you phrase your questions and talk to her and what she's going to tell you. Give me an investigation, but only give me like things in relation to talking to people.
Celebrity.
Yeah.
And keeping up appearances, because
How are you
talking
keeping up
about-
appearances by asking about the Donnellys, though?
because I'm famous and I'm talking about someone who is also famous, right?
Donnellys are not famous. They're just a rich
Are
family.
they not?
They're just a rich
Oh,
family.
okay. I thought they were. Never mind then. I thought they were famous.
No. They're just a rich family.
Okay, and that's it. Power of 1.
Give me a
And this
power
would
of
be
1 roll.
Investigate, right?
Investigate. Right. That is a mild success with a power of 1. You can ask me a question.
Okay. Well, I want to know, when was the last time that she knows of that the Donnellys have left the house?
Oh, right. Well, darling, that would be like 1, 2, 3. Never.
Oh, well, damn.
Well, at least never since I've been alive, and the place been shut up for a good long time. Last time, can't remember his name, but he used to be the head of the Donnelly family. He shut them up. 2 young children, I remember, and then just never came out. Terribly sad. They didn't talk to nobody. They were just stuck in there all that time. Didn't go to school. Oh well. Rich folk. You know how they are.
I do.
Of course I don't have to tell you, Mr. Halford.
Well, it's been lovely chatting to you, Amir, right? Well, it seems my acquaintance is here, so... And then conversation ensues with Dante, catches up back to the present.
Okay.
And so yeah, Dante, from what I know, these people never leave. And this lovely lady here, in her entire time working here as a local, has never seen them leave once. From what I know, there's 2 children in there. Well, not children anymore.
They were children when they went in. It's been
And
many
they
years
are
now.
Sister.
Yeah.
The question is, if they're shut-ins, how much staff do they have? Who reported the news? How did the journalists get a hold of the story at all?
What journalist? I thought Grace was the only one who talked about this.
No, there's an article about the statue.
Oh, no.
Exactly. How? So if they're shut,
What about... Wait. What about the other ones? Were they also shut-ins? Famous
Dunno.
big places?
the ones before this, judging from your conversation with that woman, doesn't seem like they were shut-in. Seems like something happened to these 2. And... bloody hell.
Do you think it's worth going after the reporter now? Because I have been putting that on for a very long time. It would be really nice to know how these articles were written.
The article that I found on the statue, is it BBC?
Is it what?
Was it
Is it
from
BBC? It is BBC, yeah. Do you want to look at it again?
Yes, who's the writer?
You look at it again. The writer, the name of Melanie... oh god, I'm going to make sure I got her name right. Right. Melanie Niles. She is, from what you can look up, seems like a pretty average journalism. Bottom of the line journalist who just does like fluff pieces. You do see that the article, reading over it, same as with all stories in Ullmanoch, very vague, very basic. Statue was broken. That's it.
Not to touch
puts the phone down and says, "The common thread in Ullmanoch. I've been starting to notice this for a while, since before we met. Shit just doesn't get reported. I never got a press conference, never got to appeal to the public, nothing.
I've noticed that too since I've come here. I must say, your news
You've raised an
section, some of
interesting
them
point. We should talk about someone and find out this journalist's sources, because somebody from the Donnelly Manse must have spoken, or the Vandals did.
I must say, the Ullmanoch news section has been one of the most boring things I've ever seen in my life. You people will love to say that things happened and then they go through no extra detail on anything. It's insane.
Mate, we fucked up an entire theater and all that came out of it is it's closed.
That's what I'm saying. I should be more famous than that. Anyway, not to touch your phone or anything.
Dante just pinches the bridge of his nose because he knows Alpha's listening to entirely the wrong thing he's saying.
Not to touch your phone or anything, because you know how that goes. But could you look up to see what kind of articles Zyra Shaw specifically has written? see if their number of details is any greater.
All right.
Okay.
Are
you going to do that?
Yes, that's a good
Right.
suggestion. I'm also using recurring patterns in this case.
I'm going to give you an
see what she's
investigation, definitely, for this. Investigation check, please.
doing. What else can I use? Zyra Shaw.
Shah.
Do you get any?
Sure, sorry.
I don't have a spell point. Like,
All right. 13.
Fucking hell, these rolls.
not like you need help,
Oh, Jesus Christ. How does he do it?
bro. When he
Hey.
farts, he gets like 12s.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. You say that, but last session, with like the power of 4, I rolled 9.
He's
Which
trying.
means I rolled a
He's just
five.
trying to.
Which
He's trying to be
I
like,
rolled
yeah.
a 5.
still
I think you know what an outlier is, mathematician.
No, that wasn't great. That was mild. The only time I rolled
Well
great
said.
was
Well
when
said.
it didn't.
All right.
Okay. Give me your questions, fucking high roller, bitch. Sorry.
I will remind you of this on Sunday.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I mean, the first question is again, Ned had a good idea. What
Right.
kind of things is Zyra Shaw
You
writing?
have a look through, and you can see Zyra Shah has written good many articles, all of which are very hard to find, very buried. They've been published, but there's been no fanfare to them whatsoever. Like back end of this websites and in the middle of nowhere, all of them are very well written, very well investigated, and very thorough. You
Okay.
find out of a detailed analysis into fishermen going missing at Kingstown. She describes numbers of well-versed men of the sea who have sailed for many years suddenly disappearing without a trace. She does other articles about a strange group of figures who keep taking people away. She just only article she can say is trench coats, flat caps, and a symbol on their shoulders that looks like a silver rose twisted in thorns. That article is incredibly hard to find. It's very buried. And you actually, the first version of it you find has that part redacted. It's only on
Before
like
I
another
ask the
side.
next question, at some point Dante will turn to Ned again and say, when you were talking to her in that cafe, did you get any sense that she was a bit like us?
I don't think she has powers, but she definitely sees more than the average person.
She's quite observant.
What I will say is that she seemed very afraid. It could be the fact that this hulking behemoth full of ice and anger issues was trying to kill her and me. But she did seem, even before the interview in general, just very upset and defeated. I've since then, I imagine, you have tried calling. No, I specifically remember though. What was it? She had this recording when we talked. When I was speaking to her during the interview, I remember it now. But underneath the table, she had turned on some kind of recording device, and it has the entire interaction of the bar, including William's monologues, as he loves doing so much. I'm sure Jasmine would be interested in that.
He's dead now.
He loved.
Second question is, can I find any address of residence of Irish or any place she frequents, anybody she talks to often?
Really, once again, really difficult. It takes all of your skill navigating the internet to find this. It is only from a throwaway comment in a article that she mentions Talmaya Street.
What street?
Talmaya Street in Candle Street.
No, okay.
Okay.
And it is only she references it in a side of an article when she's talking about her local community, and she accidentally lets slip that she's from there. The other thing that you sort of get, that you find way back in her history, is her talking about a time when her and her boyfriend were together, and she says, sitting on our balcony over the street, looking over the people passing by, looking down at that pretty house with the red door and flowers outside it, whilst I nursed my coffee, and it's very artistic and very sort of like teenager trying to sound artsy, but it does give a pretty good idea of where she is.
Yeah, pretty much exactly right. That's very descriptive.
Yeah. You have a rough idea of definitely the street, and you know that she's somewhere on a balcony opposite a house with a red door and flowers surrounding it.
A flower shop, you say?
No, he didn't say shop. Also, Dante didn't say that. Yeah, he just
didn't say shop.
He just,
Dante
just pushed the phone in his pocket. Says, "Found her."
Found it already? Damn, how do you do this? Anyway, priority number one finding her, moving the statue, because you seem very worried about it. I'm sure it will be fine.
We expended a lot of effort to save his life. Would be a shame if he was just vandalized.
Yeah, but we can't even stash him at Celia's because she has some kind of vendetta against him.
I wouldn't want him stashed at Celia.
Where do we put this poor bastard?
I don't know. In storage?
But how is that safer than an entire hotel? You don't think they have security?
I'm just imagining an episode of storage, an episode of Storage Hunters, and they pull out the thing, and it's just.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I just have to intervene. Like, the little voice in my head is saying, like, just store him in the ceiling at the university. Apparently they store statues there all the time.
Dante just says, look, I have no idea what to do with him. I'm just saying we have to think about his well-being now.
I see.
Let's go find the reporter.
Well, time to go on an adventure. Are we gonna wait for the others or no?
Yeah. Let's wait for Elizabeth. Tell her as much.
Okay, look, we're all saying let's wait for her, but does she, like, are you guys at Jasmine's bar or not?
Wait, are you going? No.
No, we're in a
also,
little...
Jasmine did just respond to the message Elizabeth sent, saying the four of you wanted to visit the men's together. If that doesn't work out, I'll come by in the night.
So then, like...
I text in the group, change of plans. I think we should talk to the reporter. I currently have a ban on talking to the press. Very much not allowed to do that. So I might need y'all to do it for me.
But,
the one who has... Oh, I'm sure you're gonna love this one. Her name is Zyra Shaw. I tried to talk to her in an interview this one time, and she has a recording of William's monologue as he attempts to kill me.
It's just gonna the text message back that says good luck.
Man.
Let's go, Halford.
And I'm messaging back. What are you gonna do, Elizabeth?
Just got a very short message back that says Donnelly Mans.
And I send back a thumbs up with message.
Was that group or just private?
Group.
Oh, if you said Donnelly Mans, then we'll write. We might find something about it before you go in, though.
Okay.
And I at Isadora.
Okay. You at Isadora.
You
send
good, bro?
a message to him.
You
don't get anything back for a good while, but you do get a double tick on the message. I'm guessing this is the WhatsApp group. Double tick on the message. He's seen it. Doesn't reply.
No response.
No response.
Right. Jasmine sends a text and a group message. Any word from Isadora?
No. It seems even in real life, there's not a lot of word from Isadora.
Elizabeth is driving again. There's no time for texting then.
Okay. You're driving
Parks
in.
at the side of the road.
It's called hands-free. Come on.
What are you doing, Jasmine?
Jasmine. Jasmine is... since apparently it's unclear whether or not Elizabeth is gonna go over to the manse. She's gonna... she's not gonna do anything with that until like late at night. Instead, she is going to, as she is just at the bar every now and then, when she's got the time for it, she's pulling out a phone and doing some investigating. She is going to investigate the rose, like the image that she's already seen twice now.
Give me an investigation check, please.
Yes. All right. Amateur sleuth. Obviously.
For anybody who has been watching this, he has seen it twice. Jasmine has seen it twice.
Yeah.
But you haven't seen this the first time. That's all I'll say.
Once in secrets. I think, let's see, amateur sleuth. And I'm going to add the drunk regular's weakness to this, since I am currently in the bar and there are people around me.
Brilliant. You can definitely add that. Yeah.
So that will bring me to a +0.
Jasmine! Put on piano, man! Jasmine! Put it on again!
Alright.
Oh,
I'll be right on it.
Say side of piano, man.
And you know what? I'm also going to take a picture of the rose that has been carved into the bar, and I'm going to send it over to. Let's go for someone. I'm going to send it over to Alex O'Mulrian, friend of her, used to be a B Cop with her. And let's also say Parker Maguire, who also worked with her on the force.
Okay.
And asking them if they recognize it from anything. So I'm using police contacts. So investigate, here we go.
Okay.
That's an 8.
Right, 8. Okay, so first of all, in terms of replies from your squad mates, first one is whoop, never seen it before. Whoop, what is this? Whoop, looking for a new tattoo, eh? Whoop, trying to impress some boy. Oh, it comes, and the messages just keep coming, like taking the piss out of you.
Yeah, kind of expecting that, but hey, you never know. But I do get one clue, so let's see. I'd say. Ooh, that's a difficult one.
You did roll an 8, so you get one clue, yeah.
Yes. I'd say I'd ask the question. Can I find this this image, this exact like rose? Can I find it anywhere on the internet, on any sort of website?
So the side effect from this is whoever or whatever is you're looking up is going to find something else about you. So you searched up, and you are searching for ages, and you find picture after picture of tacky tattoo, and you type rose with thorns, silver rose with thorns, hundreds of them. It takes you ages. Then you end up in a chat room, and as you're there, sort of messaging around, asking people, someone's seen it. Someone signs in, name Taras. And they go, "What are you looking for?"
She's going to message back. A friendly woman at my bar cut this in here. Thought it meant something.
Maybe she was sending a message.
Yeah,
You
don't
mean
know what the
bad?
message is.
You've been dangerous.
Not really. Just trying to run my bar.
You know what you've been.
Oh.
You know what you are.
Jasmine is not going to respond.
You don't respond for a second, and there's a long thing that goes, "Miss Wright, we know where you are. This is your first warning. Cease your actions, or face reaction from the court. You fail to do so, we will be forced to take a secondary action. Be advised, no one gets to a third."
All right, yeah. Jasmine's pretty spooked and puts her phone away as she continues to tend the bar.
Okay. Your phone goes away. A person by the name of Taras is gone from your contacts. Right. Jump across to who hasn't gone in a while? Let's say Dante and Ned for the moment, because Elizabeth is going to be at the Donnelly Manse right after. Dante,
right.
Ned, you're going to the apartment of the reporter.
Tell me a street. Yes.
Are we?
Yes.
Okay.
Isn't that
are.
where
Can
you
we
were planning
say
to go?
that this is the first? Yeah. So can we say that Dante goes with Ned in Pedro's limo?
In Pedro's
No.
limo?
This is what Dante does. Dante actually
Okay, PP
turns
break.
Ned to himself and says, "We're going on the bus.
The bus.
We're going on a bus. And you, Halford, for perhaps the first time in your life, are going to observe what people are like in this city. Really, up close and personal. We're going on a fucking bus. And that's that."
Fine, but if halfway through,
No
I
ifs, no
bump-
buts. We're going on a fucking bus.
Okay, just don't complain if I bump into someone and they turn into a statue.
Put your hands in your pockets.
And we go into the bus. And can we? I know you said last session that Pedro was waiting outside, but can we say that he's just on call? You know?
Yeah, I know he's on call.
Yeah, he wasn't waiting outside for 5 hours while everyone did their
He's
entire
on
day.
call. He's on call.
Out of character,
He's a
trust
human
me,
being.
I'm doing you a favor. You don't want Dante in the limo with Pedro. I'll steal Pedro from you.
You wouldn't dare, you bitch.
You get into the bus. You've never. Well, you might have been in a bus before. Have you been in a bus?
Yes, I've been in a bus.
Okay, I just want to know. Have you been in a bus? This one is a lot smellier, a lot sweatier, a lot more cramped than most buses you've been in. It's public transport, which is what it is. And, yeah, as you are sort of
I
cramped
have
in...
the disguise glasses on, just saying.
Yeah, you have...
Would be ashamed to get
Can I say,
recognized.
as soon as you go to put them on, Dante just takes them out of your hand and says, "No."
And okay,
As
I'm
you-
only doing. You're the detective here, all right? So I'm gonna
I'm really
let
not.
you do.
As you're driving away, there's a guy sort of beside you, rather tall guy, but still like, kind of like on the point of like skinny, but like really covered in acne. And he sort of goes, "You know, you look like Ned Halford."
Wow, yeah, I get told that a lot.
Cool. I get told I look like Tom Cruise a little bit.
I could see that.
Yeah, I can definitely see that.
Yeah.
You're a bit taller than him, of course.
Yeah, I keep seeing Family Guy episodes where they like make him like really short. It's yeah.
The rest of the bus seems to pass without incident, but it is not pleasant, Ned, for the rest of the ride.
This public transport is simply very public, huh? It's,
That's how it goes, Halford. Look around you. Take these people in. They have to live in this fucking place. They can't retreat to a penthouse. They can't travel in the safety of a limo with a champagne glass in their fingers. They can't just twirl around a golden cigarette, throw it at a person, and have their worries go away. Look at them.
Man, you really must think I was born yesterday. I know what it's like to be here. Why do you think I have a limo?
I know
I hate
you know,
buses.
but I think
I
you're
hate.
forgetting.
No, I remember, and that's why I'm in my penthouse all the time and in my limo, away from the smelly people. I'm there for a reason.
Where were you born, Halford?
Ah, names and such. Born in the back of an RV somewhere in the Midwest America. Ever heard the term white trailer park trash? That's me, baby.
Disgusting phrase, if I'm honest.
Yep. Tell it to a reporter and I'll cut your head off.
Why would I?
All I'm saying is that I've done a very good job to make sure that, anything related to my family or history does not exist on the internet.
Ullmanoch's different, mate.
That's why I don't like it.
There's poor people everywhere. There's people in pain everywhere. But here, some of them actually feel fucking helpless. More than usual.
Half of me
You know those
really
kids at the
kids.
coffee shop, the ones that really were happy to see you?
Yeah.
You know why they were happy to see you? There's no fucking celebrities in Ullmanoch. No one. Nobody bloody comes here.
Listen, man. Half of me, half of me, I snap my fingers, a little gold spark flat. This half really likes it here. But the other half of me is reminded of a time where I didn't want to be here. I'm not from here. I'm from somewhere like here. And that's why I don't want to be here. If the other half of me wasn't dragging me to the city, I honestly don't know. I'm here because it's a challenge, Everything's so easy everywhere else. But
Don't take this the wrong way. I mean this in the kindest way possible, Halford. I do hope you do get out.
All I'm saying is I want the challenge without the smell of a bus, okay?
No, not okay. Our stop's next, by the way.
Well, let's just say no need for any more celebrities to come to Ullmanoch. Now that I'm here, Ullmanoch will have a few celebrities at its own.
The bus screeches to a halt, and there's a noise of the releasing air as the doors open, and people begin to make their way out. Students begin to pile on before people have even made their way properly off, and it becomes a mad sort of like scramble to get out before the doors are closed on you. And then they close again, and the bus is off again. You find yourself standing on a rather pretty street. Right in the middle of Candle Street. This place is seemingly a little bit of a refuge between the two. Pretty well-made houses dating back to at least 100 years or so, being reconverted into flats. Various little hipster coffee shops and bars and that kind of thing cover the whole of the streets, along with the occasional Italian and Chinese and that kind of thing. You can see that the entire top row of buildings is made up with balconies, and as you walk down, you get closer to the area in question, and you see there's about 3 or 4 balconies that are overlooking the red house with the flowers on it, which is just that, a red house with flowers surrounding it, heavily put in, and what seems to be a man who has gone to a great extent to have purchased every gnome he could possibly find and put them out on his balcony above the Red House. Like everyone. There's a gnome of Batman and Robin. It's extensive.
Can I say, as soon as we step out, Dante will light a cigarette, just turn to Halford and say, "You want one?"
Yeah, I want one. Doesn't mean I can have it.
Joke.
Jeez.
I used to live near someone like that, and they got arrested.
Oh God.
Foreshadowing.
The prophecy.
Let's go
Alright.
find us a red door and look what's opposite it.
Okay, but seriously, fair warning, I am not allowed to talk to reporters. She will get very mad at me. You will have to do the negotiating. And I'm
You're
sure
right,
if you listen, if she remembers, she does not want to talk to me.
Mm-hmm. So you're at the red door now. There's at least 3 balconies directly opposite it.
What do they look like?
So the farthest one to the right looks very bare. Someone's like got half a barbecue that's been left there for a long time, like one of those like barbecues you buy in the supermarket. That's
Like a propane one?
Yeah, propane. That's just been left out for a really long time and has clearly been used once when it was sunny and never was used again and has rusted to fuck all. The next one over has like ashtrays over the top and a couple of flowers that are wilted and sort of decayed. The ashtrays are full but damp and not recently used. The last one over seems to be rather bare. You can see what seems to be some pieces of a bicycle that have been either mended on it or left outside whilst just to get out of the way of whoever is in the apartment. But apart from that, it's rather bare.
Did you smoke when you were at the cafe?
What do you mean?
Did she smoke?
Did she? Badger, did she?
I wish there was a memory check for this.
Because I don't remember, but there's a chance she might have.
I'm gonna say if you don't remember as a player, I'm gonna say you don't know.
Wilted plants. Probably a busy person. Let's try that one first.
Okay, one thing I do want to do is a few seconds after we got off the bus, and it's like, Dante, don't stop me. And Ned does basically one of these, right? And he like slicks his hair back, and then his hair turns to gold, and he looks like a completely different person. Can I do that?
I'll allow it.
It is okay.
It's within your powers. I'll allow it.
Yeah,
Definitely.
And he puts the disguise glasses on for extra effect. He looks real dumb, but he doesn't look like that.
You head up. So the usually the flat door is closed, but surprise, surprise, Ullmanoch, it's kind of broken and barely sort of. You get the feeling that the lock is still there, but like you sort of push it and twist it halfway. Knock first. So it's the door to like a flat thing. So there is a buzzer thing for someone to unlock it, and you see various apartment numbers.
Does anyone say any of them say show off?
No, there's a number of them that have been scratched off.
What does the one with the wilted flowers say?
The one with the wilted flower says Mira.
What does the one with the bicycle say?
The one with the bicycle says nothing.
That's the one we ring.
Okay. Hello?
Hello, I'm looking for Zyra Shaw.
I'm sorry?
I was looking for Zyra Shaw. Could you help me?
Cuts out.
Interesting. Just for the sake of being thorough, let's ring the one with the propane tank. What does that say, by the way? Does that say anything?
It's blank as well.
Okay, let's ring that one as well.
What do you want?
Excuse me, sir.
I didn't order a pizza.
No, you didn't, but... Say, are you alone?
What the fuck are you talking about? You gonna try and rob me? You gonna fucking come up and rob me? I'll fucking beat the shit out of you.
Sir, We are distributing a lottery for families. Are you alone?
Oh fuck! I'll beat the crap out of you and all your friends.
We made a mistake. I'm sorry. And he just, buzzes himself out. It's the bicycle. Let's go.
You should have brought Isadora. You are so not convincing.
You push the door and it after like
I
a
think
push.
I just found out where she is, mate.
Yeah, sure, man. Because the guy with the propane was really a big deal. Okay, let's go.
The door slides open after you push it. You see that the other side of the lock, the bit that holds in, is like been broken to the point that it just sort of like flicks open. You make your way up the stairs, and it's pleasant enough. You just get the feeling that no one's really putting in the effort to keep this place well maintained.
Yeah.
As
I'll
you
lock
head
the door with the bicycle.
Okay. You reach to the top and knock on the door with the bicycle. The second you knock it, you hear like a scrambling noise, like a movement.
I also tell Ned to stay somewhere a little bit off so she doesn't see him through the people.
Yeah, I'm at the end of the hall, leaning against a door.
Dante
I got
will just
toothpick in my
say-
mouth.
Can I roll convince here, even though it's through a door?
What are you saying?
I will say, Miss Shaw, I'm here to help.
Give me a convince check. Yeah, give me a convince. I'll allow that.
My 2 tags, that's about
Another
it.
thing.
I will
Sorry,
allow that.
another thing. You see at the end of the hall, Ned does like this. He snaps it twice to Dante. And if Dante looks at him, Ned just mouths, "Just on gold." No, never mind. I guess you don't need my
Right.
voice.
This
You gotta do
fucking
it.
guy.
Yeah, this
so,
unconvincing
ladies and
guy.
gentlemen, he rolled a fucking 13. With a power of 2, he rolled
did.
13.
As
Yeah, but that
previously
one
stated,
time
he
I'm
rolled-
a legend.
At
feel
one
like
time
we
he
could
rolled a 9 with a +4.
Yeah.
I
oh,
swear
that
to God,
one
I have made
time,
no rolls the entire evening, but once I make a roll, it'll be like fucking 6 or something, and it'll
Shut up.
all be because you used up all of the good
You
rolls.
used up all
Yeah,
the goodness.
I remember one time I
That's how
rolled a
this
3.
works.
It's not my fault
Yes,
that I'm this
it
good
is.
at it.
I think
Okay.
you should ride the bus because I think you're forgetting what it's like to have people with low rolls. You know what they go through.
Okay. So what gender do you want? Well, say what you say first, and I'll decide after that.
Yeah, I'll just knock the door and I'll say, Miss Shaw, I'm here to help.
She's gonna take the status. What's the word? Calmed. I'm trying to say, but there's a word. There's a good word for it. 2.
Relieved.
Not believed. It's like reassured. Reassured. She's gonna take reassured 2.
Okay.
You hear silence for a moment. She goes, Who are you?"
My name is Dante, and I just want to ask you some questions. And I know you're involved in something dangerous.
You're not with him, are you?
Him,
The white-haired man.
he can't hurt you. The white-haired man.
You don't know that.
I do know that.
I felt his hands around my throat. He could have.
I know he could have. He can't anymore. Do you believe me?
I think so. I'm gonna open
Maybe
the
we'll
door
talk
now.
face to face. Thank you.
You hear a long silence, and you hear on the other side of the door. You hear a, and then click, and the door
As she opens
opens.
the door, Dante very clearly is displaying his hands and that they're bare and that,
You
sort of a
see
come in peace gesture.
a pair of round brown eyes look over. Ratty, messed up brown hair tangled over her face as she looks across and sees you. The room beyond is covered in paper. Just every surface, everything, just over and over. And you see the words written again and again. Ice from his hands. Frozen touch. How didn't I see it? Gold, gold everywhere. Gold. I'm turning to gold. And it's written all over surfaces. It's written, there's cords attached to sort of things. It looks like someone's just had like a brain over everything.
Shit. May I come in?
Who are you?
I'm just a man in a similar place that you are. I'm trying to find the way around it.
She gulps, sort of looks round and goes, "Are you alone?"
No, I have a... He turns to Ned and doesn't quite know what word he wants to say. I have an associate with me. He's very good at what he does.
No, and she goes to shut the door the second she sees Ned.
He doesn't have to
Wait,
come in.
I did want to roll to
yeah.
see how good my disguise works. Can I roll change the game?
Go me change the game. That's a very good point.
Yeah, it didn't come up until now. But yeah, basically the aesthetic of this disguise is he like rolled his hair back. Like,
Yeah, it's gold. And he's got the glasses on.
And he's got a toothpick in his mouth. It looks like that.
She did see you with your disguise on when she first met you.
Oh, fuck yeah. So he...
That's the first thing she saw you as.
But the eyebrows and the mustache are also gold this time.
Okay, go for it. I'm going to be subtracting them out from it because...
Yeah. All right. So the gold touch...
She is distraught, so it won't be subtracting as much as you think. Okay.
I have the gold touch. I have self-affecting and...
Self-affecting, I'll allow?
I think that's it. I don't think keeping up appearances would apply.
No, because you're not. You're doing the opposite.
Yeah, unkeeping appearances.
Yeah,
it's a power of 2. So how many do I want?
I'll tell you once it's rolled.
Okay, change the game.
There. Okay.
All right.
So it was -1. So you do still succeed with a power of 9. So you get a mild success instead of a great success. Right.
What does that give me?
That gives you two. That gives you 2 juice. So 1 juice into the following action. So which would you like to do? Create a story tag, burn a tower tag, give or reduce a status, scale up an effect, prolong an effect, or hide an effect, or any improvement. The improvement we could agree on could be she doesn't recognize you for the moment.
Can I do? If I make a story tag that it's like great disguise, does it still have the same effect?
It's only a great disguise 1, but it will mean that when she investigates, she'll have to get over a great disguise 1.
I don't know what over a great disguise 1 means now. Okay, what is an any other improvements? Yeah, the improvement. She doesn't recognize me for however long.
I'm going to say for the next couple of minutes, she doesn't recognize you. So as the door opens, she goes, okay. She moves aside and sort of lets you in. You can, as you step inside, the rest of the room is exactly the same as what you saw. It is a mess of papers, scribbles of William's face.
This is familiar. Once upon a time, I was in a room very much like this.
Did you get hurt?
Dante, without trying to touch her, being as ginger as he can around her, just says, "He's gone. The man with the white hair, he's gone."
How do you know?
I've seen him go.
She looks at you, she goes, "What do you mean?"
I mean, he expired.
Don't know how I'm meant to feel about that.
One thing at a time, okay? Grief is difficult.
Would you like a cup of tea?
I'd love one, thank you. No sugar, black.
She moves into the kitchen, leaving you guys in her sitting room. You can see the balcony through her 2 open doors, a sort of gust of air coming through. The remnants of her bike. Yeah?
I turn to Halford and very pointedly just tell him, "You're going to take all that shit off, and you're going to apologize to her, and you're going to fucking mean it."
Oh, buddy, I do. But for now, the disguise is the only thing keeping you in this room right now.
No, it isn't.
Well then, I don't know how to do this, because now that you've said that we're associated with one another, I drop the old Halford bar. That means I gotta leave. It means you gotta leave too. I'm down to apologize, and I do feel bad, but, you know, I can't do that right now. I'll have to wait a couple minutes at least.
Fine. You sound like a pillock, by the way.
But I look great.
No, you look the same as well.
There's a noise as the kettle is boiling in the other room. She comes in a couple of minutes later with 2 steaming cups of tea, which she passes to both of you.
Thank you very much.
You see that she's composed herself somewhat. The complete fear that overtook her when you arrived has faded, and she sort of goes,
I read some of your articles. They're very good. You're an excellent writer. You notice things most people in this town tend to ignore or sweep under the carpet.
Yeah, well, these kind of days I kind of wish I didn't.
I can sympathize.
What are you here for? What do you want?
I want to understand how the press works in this town, but
You don't know how the press works? Read a paper. Watch the news. It doesn't. It's all just lies and churning up of shit. They just hide everything. I tried to move my way up it and got nowhere.
what happened?
Every story I made, every article I wrote, I would hand it in and they would say the same thing again and again. Wow, Zara, this is great. And then it would go nowhere. I would ask, why wasn't it published? Where has it gone? And they would say, sorry, didn't make the cut.
Right.
I did that for 3 years.
Same editor?
Different editors.
Interesting. As far as I know, BBC
It's not
is still
just
publicly owned.
It's not just the BBC. It's everything. Every department you go into, every paper, the
Yeah,
fucking
I've noticed that.
Candlekeep Telegraph. Publishing.
If it wasn't that way, Miss Shaw, you'd know who I was.
You're one of them.
What do you mean?
I've read articles about you people. I know what you are.
That's
You're-
not what I mean.
I found
I
his.
was news.
I found his papers.
Hmm.
They talk about people like you.
Whose papers?
The detective. He talks about you.
Name of this detective? Are they still around?
Doesn't leave a name. Just files, audio recordings. I was lucky to find them the first time, but since then they've been covered up.
Do you still have them?
1 or 2,
May I see them?
if you want, but they're all
He's
the
lovely,
same
by the way.
crap.
He's lovely, by the way.
What do you say? Sorry, the tea's lovely.
Yeah.
She sort of looks at you and runs a hand through her hair and pulls some of the tangled mass out of her face, and then moves into the back of the room to collect the tapes. Whilst she does, Jasmine, Elizabeth, what are you two doing?
Well, Jasmine is kind of just awaiting Elizabeth's answer. See if
Definitely would have
she
come through by
managed
now.
to. Yeah, well, just
Unless-
awaiting what Elizabeth, if Elizabeth has had any success at the men's. That's what she's waiting
Okay.
for.
Is that all you said? Well, gee, she hasn't even entered the man's yet.
At this point, Elizabeth, you have arrived
Yeah.
at the man's, definitely. So you've got a good amount of time as you arrive at the man's. Like I said before, it's a very large, impressive white house built on a street with houses that are a lot sort of less tier quality. It has black iron gates in front of it and a buzzer to speak through.
All right. I guess with like one last glance at her phone, obviously the two other folks haven't gotten their answers yet, or they would have sent something if there was something useful to be used in a man's. So she'll just ring the doorbell with her buzzer.
Long silence, and you get, hello?
Hello, yes. This is Elizabeth Weiss.
Do you have an appointment, Miss Weiss?
I would like to talk to the Donnelly family about their...
Do you have an appointment, Miss
I would like to talk to them about an occurrence that also happened to me regarding...
Do
some
you
art
have an
vandalism.
appointment, Miss
Jesus.
Weiss?
Can I make one?
Yes. When would you like to make your appointment for?
Are they in today?
I will go and see if Miss and Mr. are here. It's a silence. Comments and goes, I'm afraid Miss and Mr. Donnelly are not seeing anyone at the moment. They are very unwell. Please call back at a later time.
All right. I take it like just a step like off. Like I don't know if there's a camera there or not. Just like a few steps away so that I'm like out of the vision. And I just flip out my phone and text to Jasmine alone.
Okay.
And just say like, apparently the Donnellys are unwell, in quotation marks. Could not get a grip on them right now. I don't have a feeling that their servant is gonna let anyone inside. At least not through the front door.
Jasmine messages back. Good thing that servant doesn't need to.
I was never good at being persuasive. I think sneaking inside will be the better option. And then, like, another text message that just says, go get him, Tiger.
Yeah. That is what Jasmine needed to hear. She's gonna wait for nightfall and then go over to the Donnelly manse.
Okay, as you are waiting for nightfall, we're going to cut to Ned and Dante again. Ned and Dante, she has returned a couple of minutes later. She carries a couple of DVD discs, which is very old-fashioned. But yeah, a couple of DVD discs that she hands over to you.
Before the conversations continue, can I just say that I've been looking around the room the entire time? Can I make an investigate?
You can,
Yes,
yeah,
sir.
definitely.
I have not said a word yet.
You can definitely make an investigate.
Yay. Keeping up appearances would now apply because she's convinced I'm not.
I will allow it now. It's a bit of a stretch, but I'll allow it because, yeah, I can't allow it.
And I would like to use the crew tag no reputation. Would that work?
They're a little bit contradictory.
How?
No reputation
Because-
versus keeping up. No, they're
Keep
actually
up-
they're
I'm
not that
keeping up
bad. They're
mine.
not bad. They're keeping up your.
Yeah.
I'll allow it. I'll allow it.
Yeah, because my success on this would not be able to be real.
Okay.
Okay. So that's. Yeah, that's a power of 2. Do I get anything against me on this?
Nope. Nothing against you on
Okay.
this one.
Okay.
What did you roll? Let me see. Oh, you rolled a 8. Okay, so you get 2 clues, but they are going to be exposing you to something, or depending on my choice. So what are your questions?
My questions is.
I'm going to choose these to be fuzzy.
All right. How much of what is in the room that I can see related to the incident that happened at the diner versus other stuff?
You
know,
see,
like how
immediately from your offset, you can see there's a lot of stuff related to the diner. You do see 1 or 2 things that are not related to the diner. The one you see, I'm going to say, because there's a lot of stuff, but this is the only one you see. I'm going to see 2. You see various sketches of a stag. And you see big writing of the words, what happened to Pookie?
Okay.
And that's it.
For Kim.
Can I bank my second clue even though he's the first
You can bank it, yeah, if you want.
Okay, I will choose to bank it.
So yeah, she comes back in, hands you the floppy disks. Not floppy disks, CDs.
Oh god, is that old?
God damn, brain.
All right.
Brain right now. Sorry,
the DVDs kind of
They're
tells us
CDs, they're
around
CDs.
the time this detective was working as well.
Yeah, they do.
She hands you the cave drawings.
Dante thanks and says, "Thank you very much. Can I ask you something else?
Yeah.
How do I put this? There are articles sometimes about strange occurrences which are very sparse, but at the same time, it's hard to establish who the source is. For example, there's one on the Donnelly Mans, but I have it on pretty good authority that people in the Donnelly Mans don't go out and don't talk to people, so...
I have a theory about that.
Elaborate.
Well, you're going to think I'm crazy.
I won't, I promise.
I think there's a hidden world beneath our own, and that in this world, they have their own customs, they have their own beliefs, they have their own functions, and they're all working right beneath us, and we don't even notice them, and they're ruling what we're doing right now. There's stories, endless stories about things going on that's just been covered up, and then there's random stories that appear in the press that allude to things that no one cares about. And the only answer to that is that it's a code. There's something hidden in the narrative. There's something hidden in the way they're speaking. That there's got to be something there that they understand that we don't.
I just go, you don't sound crazy to me. Out of character question. When Gillian Gale was in King's Oath, and he talked about that bollocks about the order and stuff, does Dante remember vaguely even any of that?
You remember vaguely, but you don't remember the order, especially because it wasn't called the order, and I'm not going to correct you because you don't remember. You remember him talking about something higher.
I'm pretty sure he said order. No, I'm wrong. That's good. Okay.
I think it's like council or something like that. But yeah,
No.
some kind of word that meant that.
I'm not gonna say court because that's what Jasmine stepped onto, but I think he did say something. He said you killed one of the
Killed
word
one of the
thing.
something.
Yeah.
And that has
So what do I
repercussions.
remember from that?
You remember a vague feeling of unease. You remember the words of you killed something. You remember bits and pieces of it. I'm going to leave this in your roleplay hands as to how much you feel Dante took away from that thing. And this is just me trusting you with whatever you want to take from it.
Yeah. I think mostly though.
I will say the way Gillian's thing is he sort of mists over and covers everything. It's not that it's gone, it's just covered.
I got that. It's mostly that, like, what she's saying makes sense to Dante. It would have made sense to Dante even if he hadn't met Gillian,
Yes.
because of the conversation we
Yes.
had previously at the whiteboard and the things he said to Jasmine and Elizabeth. And I think Ned was in the corner at the time too. So these things to him make some sense. The fact that it is some sort of a power struggle, the fact that the world is quite different. To this, he'll just say to her, "I don't think you're crazy, but I don't know how to say this. Do you want to look further into this, or do you want to?"
She stands there, and you can see she's kind of like at her wit's end at this point, but you talking to her about believing in things is getting to her. Her eyes have flitted to Ned once or twice, but they haven't lingered yet. She sort of looks at him for a minute, looks back, and she goes, "I feel like I'm going crazy. But whatever this is, I can't give up on it. I need to know." And she looks over and she points at the various things. She goes, I need to know why. I have to.
Why do you have to?
Because otherwise I've sacrificed it all for nothing. And it's real. I know it's real. I mean, fucking Ned Halford got on live TV and talked about it for 10 minutes straight, and no one cared.
Yeah,
No one
he's an
gave a
idiot
shit.
like that.
I raise my hand in character, and
I raise my finger just to tell, like, signal to Ned that not now. Wait a second.
I understand the what he says. Put my hand back down, and I don't do anything.
I must warn you, Miss Shaw. Pursuing this, we both already know you can't publish anything you find.
Her eyes are now lingering on Ned, and there's a bit of confusion in her face as she's darting back to you, and she goes, I don't care about publishing. I care about the truth.
And your life?
I don't want to die, but...
He takes a piece of paper. Actually, not a piece of paper, and he just asks her, "If you're going to continue on this course, let me at least give you my number."
Her eyes are now, as she takes it, her eyes are like focused on Ned, and she goes, Do I know you?
Well, you see. I look at Dante for approval.
He shrugs, sort of like, probably the best time we're gonna get.
Okay, so let me explain this in the nicest way I can. I never liked reporters, but you, probably the most sane person I've met today. A lot of bad stuff has been happening to me recently. I know what happened to you too. How do I know? Because I was there, and I take off the glasses, I undo the hair, and I say, I just want to start off by saying,
Oh, shit.
I'm very sorry, but you probably would have beat me up if I did not do this efforts. Okay?
Why are you here?
Because after 10 minutes of an interview, nothing changed.
He was concerned about you. In fact, he's been concerned about you since your initial meeting, and he's been asking me to come find you and check up on you.
She takes a step back and she goes, Is he here too? Is that what this is? Is he here too? Is he gonna kill me?
We're specifically here now because the Iceman is no longer gone. I would have never contacted you again if he was still around and able to interact.
Give me a convince check with +1 because he is dead and you're telling the truth.
Okay, and all right.
I'm gonna
You can help?
Yeah,
That's a +2.
Of course. I'm gonna Yeah, basically give Ned like a temporary status of reassured as well, so that like Ned
Okay.
knows he has Dante's support.
Okay. Don't think I have anything that would shamelessness work here?
Oof.
Because it's not as shameless as some other stuff.
This isn't. There's no shame in this. This is honesty.
Yeah, that's my point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not shameful.
Yeah. I think.
Therefore, no, there's no need for shamelessness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think this would be a flat roll from my end, unless I have other stuff.
So you have +2 already from Dante and from the fact that you're telling the truth.
Oh, okay. That's nice. And I would like to use a weakness.
Shit.
Incredibly inconvenient for my
Okay, go for it.
because as this happens, she is now noticing that that the teacup is golden. You know what I mean? Throughout this interaction, Dante's been doing a very good job of keeping her attention, but shit has just kind of been turning to gold on accident.
Okay.
No, am I?
Roll with a +1 then, please. Convince.
Convince.
Oh.
Oh god.
Right. I'm gonna deny.
Five.
I'm gonna deny something you want, which is to get more information from Zyra Shah. Zyra Shah is gonna go. No, I'm not dealing with him again. I'm not.
You don't have to. You don't have Zyra. We'll go. We'll go.
I'm already
Leave.
on my
And you
way
watch
walking
as she says
out.
leave. Multiple arms extend out of her body, and she goes, and with a force of strength, she grabs each of you in one of her arms and chucks each of you one after the other out of her room. One of the arms grabs and slams the door shut, and you are left outside.
Well, I'm guessing she found that out recently. Let's go, Halford.
I would like to use my second clue to ask a question. What the fuck was that?
What the fuck was that? That was a miss.
So she's a rift confirmed.
She's
That's
a rift
nice.
confirmed.
Oh, well, that's lovely. And okay, I slide my business card under the door and get the fuck out.
Right.
No, Dante will stop you sliding in a business card. He'll just say, "We're coming on too strong, mate. She already has
But you
my
gave
number."
her number. That's not. Anyway.
This isn't a game, Halford.
Yeah, but
Stop being a
realistically,
child.
it's better if she has two of us to contact, right?
Leave it on the counter here. Don't slide it under the door. It's gonna get shredded immediately.
But then that's evidence that we were here.
Bloody hell! It's one way or the other. You can't have both.
Fine. And I put it there, and I leave.
Okay.
How does your agent deal with you? Does he just walk around telling
Better
you
than
how every
you.
decision's a bit off? Yeah, he had experience. I don't want it.
He's cool. You're just mean.
We cut across.
I'm only here because I don't know how to be a detective.
as that's happening, we cut across to Jasmine and Elizabeth. As Jasmine, you are arriving. It's not quite nightfall at this point, I'm gonna say.
Oh, she is going to wait until nightfall. She's not going to go earlier.
I'm gonna say then Elizabeth, you're waiting for a good while outside the Donnelly Manse as it shifts into darkness, very slowly. Where Dante and Ned, are you heading to the Donnelly Manse?
Yeah.
Okay.
And
Not gonna
we
leave her alone
please
there.
take a limo. Please.
Just
Can we take
shut
the
up, you
limo?
pretentious fuck.
Fine.
Let's just it's just nightfall. So for example, like 9 in the evening or something.
It's a bit early. It's like 8 or so, but 7 or
Yeah.
8,
Okay. Perfect. A bit earlier. Yeah.
It's a little bit early.
That's great. Yeah. No. Definitely, because she wouldn't wait until like really
Dark.
late in the evening.
Yeah. Okay. As you're waiting at Elizabeth outside for a good while, Dante and Ned manage to arrive before it is even dark. Outside the Donnelly Manse. As you watch, the Donnelly Manse is fucking weird. The lights seem to sort of like move from room to room. They don't leave any lights on. It's like the light is like traveling from room to room. stops in places and it travels, and very occasionally one light will randomly turn on in one part of the house and then randomly turn off. It's very bizarre.
Dante will turn to both Elizabeth and Ned and say, "What do you want to bet they're exactly like us?"
Can you repeat that?
Yeah.
What do you want to bet they're like us?
And Ned is combing his hair to try and get it back how it was before the disguise. It's undoing it is 100%.
At which Dante will just look at Elizabeth and say, "Don't ask."
We had quite a day.
Yeah, I wasn't planning on. There's probably something going on with them. Either they're a rich, troubled family, or there's something more there. Sounded like the servant wasn't gonna let anyone in. He said they were unwell, the family. Don't know
You
what
think
that
it's
means,
connected to
but
what happened?
you think, if you mean organ failures, I don't think so.
No, the statue.
What?
Oh.
Organ failures? What are you talking about?
You mean,
There
what
are
do you
people
mean?
dying all over, if you didn't notice.
Well, yeah, but how? From organ failures? How?
The seeds, Halford. The seeds are still in them, poisoning them.
Oh, fuck. Well, Alex Piper, what do we do with him? Is he like just dead in there?
I don't know. But now you keep him safe.
Well, okay. Now we definitely need Celia. Do you know any other doctors that can, see?
Just keep him safe for now. I don't think Celia's powers, if that's what we're calling them now, I don't think they work on the consequences of the seed poisoning. In fact, I'm pretty sure I know they don't.
Let's see. Right.
Hey, Halford. I'm gonna take a quick walk around the block with Dante, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
I shrug.
Elizabeth starts walking and with Dante.
It's like minding a bloody child who doesn't know he is one.
You're still within earshot.
I know! It was on purpose.
Bye-bye.
Once they're like around the corner, Elizabeth will say like, "Yeah, I don't think you would blame me for not wanting to talk about certain things with him around, because last thing we saw, he blurted out a lot of shit in front of the press. So
Not just that, he wrote a letter.
yeah, he did a lot of shit that he thinks is good, but well, his morals are questionable, and that's coming from someone with very low morals."
That's so.
I had an interesting evening last night.
Okay. Everything alright?
I had a dream about the theater.
Uh-huh.
Or specifically, I don't think the theater, but guessing you already know this, but I'm not thinking the theater will open again anytime soon. Or anytime, for that matter.
I don't quite have that certainty, but yeah, let's go with anytime soon.
Sure. Well, I think I saw the, what was it, fear guy? Him they always talk about.
Uh-huh.
Or at least I'm assuming it was him because it was a ominous dude with a white beard with like black hair, white streaks in it, and seemingly blind in his eyes. Anyway, because he is so mysterious, I'm just thinking it is him, and also because, well, Esper was sitting next to him, and she's dead? Question mark.
I don't know. Is she?
I
There's a
don't
lot I
know.
don't understand about what happened there. I wish I did.
Yeah, well, he was sitting next to her, and I'm assuming it's the theory guy they keep talking about. Nothing interesting happened in the dream, but I did wake up to find my bedroom window open, which was not the case beforehand. And before you ask, no, my wife did not get up and suddenly get hot and open the window.
So then, did you check if anything was missing?
Was the one question? Was the painting in the bathroom still there?
Did you check?
I at least went there for like getting ready in the morning. So I
Getting
would
ready
have.
in the morning?
Hey.
Did you check?
Hey.
You're
It was a
living in a
big
nice
poop.
house with a lot of paintings in. Did you check that
To
this
be
one was missing?
fair, if the painting that my wife hung up just the night before would have disappeared, she would have noticed and like said something at breakfast. To be fair there.
If she went to that
That's a
bathroom.
very good point.
How many bathrooms do you have in your house?
What?
People poop, DM. People poop.
Multiple bathrooms. Multiple bathrooms.
No,
Look,
you can
as-
have like multiple toilets, but
Yeah.
like one decent bathroom.
In one
Like,
As
bathroom.
long
Okay,
as you
all
don't
right.
play it out, it didn't happen, right?
I just want to know the details of this thing to know if this.
Which of
if
my
you've
20 toilets
noticed
shall I poo
if
in
this
today?
the portrait's still there. I just wanted to make you nervous.
I wasn't nervous. As far as I noticed, no, nothing was gone.
Was anything added?
No.
I know it seems a weird question, but if someone opens your window, they do it for a reason, right? What you're describing, it might sound like, I don't know, a message? But what if they got in, left something, or took something?
Yeah, well, that's precisely that. And that's why I didn't want to bring it up with Halford there. It felt very much like my wife wasn't safe. And we all know why we're in this job. And it's for one thing for me, it's to keep my wife safe. Someone opening a window very much feels like a threat and feels like Grace is not owning up to his words.
No, he's doing things very roundaboutly, isn't he? Man says he can make the sun shine. If and when it shines, he takes credit for it. If and when he doesn't, he gives you more reasons to do shit for him. It's an old trick. It's a con as old as time. And we are being conned, even if some of us aren't accepting it. They reopened my daughter's case. It was nothing I asked for. That's not what I needed. I wanted to know if she was alive.
Sounds like the first step to a supposed long end answer, but in the end, who knows if you'll get the answers. Seems like he's working towards them, but... Or at least he wants it to seem like that.
You know what I think? I think things are gonna get worse.
As you say that, it's beginning to get darker. And Jasmine, you are beginning to sort of head out of your pub to go join the group.
as I fly over towards the manse, I assume I notice the others down on the ground.
Yeah, you will. As
float-
Elizabeth and Dante finish their circuit, is anything left? Do you say, Elizabeth, before you finish your... Yeah. What do you say?
No, your suspicions are correct. I don't think anyone is in this willingly. I don't even think. Well, I'm sure Arabella isn't even in this willingly. She's
What do
being
you mean?
used.
That's new information. How do you know this?
Because suffice to say that when I woke up and find my bedroom window open with a clear threat to my household, I went to find Grace immediately, and the only contact point we have is Arabella.
Naturally. Alright. This is... Funnily enough, this is good news.
She's being used, and she's just working with him to survive like all of us.
Alright.
If you want to talk to, well, maybe a lost cause, but if you want to talk to Tristan more, he'll be at my home more often at night.
It just gives Elizabeth a look like...
That came out differently than I meant it. Dante, please, no.
No, it wasn't a dirty look. It was more of like, what? You know, like that kind of confused them. For once, you've seen him confused.
I'm going to say at that point, that's when you guys come round again in your loop. As you're sort of getting to this point, you're like, what? What are you talking about? That Jasmine turns up. You were all now outside the Donnelly Manse.
Right. And Jasmine is going to float down to the rest of the group, is going to turn into a human form and say, "What the hell are you all doing here?"
The bench is gold, by the way.
Sorry?
The bench is gold, by the way, in your short trip.
With Benji sitting on his tongue to go.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Elizabeth looks at Dante and just mouths the word "a child," but like doesn't say it out loud.
It's, on purpose.
Right,
Telling me.
you're not expecting to go sneaking around in there with like all four of us, are you?
Hell no, I'm not
No.
entering.
Speaking of which, where's Isadora?
No idea. Didn't show up at the pub. Then come here. I'm assuming whatever they wanted from Grace is done.
Nah. Either that or something that might have happened.
Yeah.
I think that's true, Dante. We had a lovely Uno game, and they told me that they wanted to have a lot of fun. But so far, I don't think they've had much fun.
Right.
So,
Well,
unless they're really demented, but I don't think that's too far away.
well, just maybe if he doesn't answer in a few days, either of you could.
We'll look for him.
All right.
Let's focus on what's at hand.
Right. Again, what are you all doing here? Because I don't really need an entire group to sneak in. This is only going to pull more attention towards us.
but-
Yeah, but you do need warning.
I think they have an orb of their own. The lights are moving weird.
Really?
Yep,
Yeah,
take a look.
I take a look.
Lights are... It's very slow. It's almost like someone walking speed. Walking from room to room. As they walk from room to room, the lights change. And they stop. And then randomly another light will turn on in another part of the house. Then it'll turn off. Move.
Right. Either
Like they're
that
playing
or...
Tetris with a house.
Yeah, one thing you do notice is something you didn't know. Like the Donnelly Manse is very nice, but the lawns have not been well maintained. There's like big, thick plum trees covering the lawn, like pools of water. It's just not well maintained.
I don't think this is a case of walking around. I think this is someone trying to make the place look lived in. Barely.
Well, they're doing a very bad job.
Right. Well, it might not be the most competent person. So, might actually be a good thing that you're all here, because if this is not just a bunch of people living in a house, it might turn out nasty.
You're an orb. I'm sure you can be like sneaky and not catch any attention.
Right, that's what...
Because last
is-
time we had a confrontation, a whole theater ended up in black water, never to be opened again.
Right, that's
Besides,
fair.
you literally glow.
I literally what?
You literally glow in the dark.
I mean, I do glow in the dark, but it doesn't necessarily mean that I'm noticed.
We're waiting. Go in.
Right. Well,
If anything happens, bolt out of there.
of course.
Yeah.
Good. Good luck.
And Jasmine starts walking towards the gate, and as she does so, she turns into an orb, floats straight through.
You walk
And
towards
starts
it,
flowing.
and as you get close to it,
Oh.
you into
I'm
orb
pretty
form.
Sorry. No.
Go on, Elizabeth.
Well,
No, I'm assuming that we won't zoom back in on the group outside because unless something interesting is happening there, which I don't suspect will be happening, Elizabeth goes to her car, gets like a bottle of water, and just like hands it to Ned and just says like, "Fix it."
It doesn't. It's not how that works. Okay. He drinks it.
Sorry, I had to.
so
Yeah,
I'm
Jasmine
just
is
smoking, looking at it.
going to float towards. How many stories is this building?
It's like 3.
Wait, she's going to.
Well, as you
float toward-
wait, getting through the gate
Ooh.
first. So
Yes.
she turns into orb form, and as she floats through the doors, the iron. Give me no checks at all, because nothing happens as you slip through and onto the other side. You start to
Monster.
float towards the house. There's 3 stories to it. One thing you do notice, as Jasmine slips over to the other side, the rest of you guys on the other side, she disappears from your vision.
Ooh.
The second she passes the gate.
That's new.
All right.
Did she mean to do that?
Oh my god, it's an alleyway. It's the thing. It's the thing.
You
It's
might
the
be right.
thing. I huck a penny in there.
Does
It lands and it still sits there. You can see it. Plain as anything.
does
Okay, it's not a thing. She
Does
just turned off the glow in the dark.
does anything seem to change for me as I
Nothing changes for
cross
you
that
at
threshold?
all. Everything seems
Alright.
completely normal.
Well, and Jasmine probably wouldn't even notice, so she's going to fly up towards the 3rd floor. She's going to... You know what, no, as she's floating towards the house, she's going to float carefully towards one of the lit windows. See if she can
Okay.
see anyone inside.
You drift closer to the lit window. Give me a sneak around, please. What is everyone else doing outside whilst Jasmine, she is doing this?
Dante's just smoking and checking his phone because he's expecting a few calls.
Okay.
It's drinking water.
Okay.
Gotta stay hydrated.
Being deadly annoyed at Halford.
Okay. Give
Want
the
me to
sneak around.
dehydrate?
I'm going to use Stronger at Night, Wisp Form.
Wisp form. I'll allow.
I think those 2 are the only ones that work here. Or Amateur Sleuth, perhaps, since I am...
Yeah, you're sleuthing.
You know,
I'll allow this.
investigating.
You're sleuthing.
Yeah.
This is sleuthing. This is
Yeah.
the sleuthiest sleuth I've ever seen. This is yeah.
All right, and what would it be?
Sneak
What
around.
kind of roll?
Sneak around.
around. Here we go. Sneak around with a +3. That is a great success. 15.
Fucking hell, that's powerful. Right, there you go.
Yeah.
Okay. You drift up to the window. You see as you get closer to it, you see the house is covered in vines. Once again, poorly maintained. You get closer to the window, and as you drift forward, you can see that a very pleasant, well-decorated bedroom. Though it is worn over time. The sheets have not been, though they are cleaned and freshly cleaned, they're very old. And they have been little rips and tears in them. Same again with the paintings and everything on the walls, slightly worn down with age. There was a young man wearing a very fine suit, or would be fine, that is showing wear and tear. He's very handsome, with blonde hair, and he's sitting on the bed with a flip-up phone, something that looks like it came out of the 80s, but like 90s, like the fucking block type thing, and tapping away at it, and nothing's happening. He curses, stands up, puts it to his ear, goes, "Well, yeah, no, I told you, this was gonna happen. The business is going all sorts of crazy. No, I can't come in. I can't come in. Yes, I know you miss me. Don't worry, I'll be there soon. No, I know I said that last time. Any day now. Any day. Okay. I love... Oh. Okay. Clicks the phone off. And turns, goes to the mirror, runs a hand through his hair. And goes, "Fraser, you're fucking gorgeous." And steps out into the hallway. And disappears from sight.
I'm going to float through the wall, kind of stick high to the ceilings, stick close to the lights of the room, and as he goes into the wall, I'm going to follow him, trying to stick as trying to stay out of his sight. If he turns around, I'm going to stick float close to the ceiling, trying to just pretend to be a light, and
okay, you follow him down the hallway. Once again, hallway is worn but very posh, but with damage over time. He starts walking down it, and he's whistling a tune, going as he moves his way down. And as he whistles, you hear a bang, 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 bang. Bang, bang, bang. He gets closer to the door and he goes, "Sister, sweet sister, don't do that. That's not polite." And he reaches out, flicks open the thing, what looks like a letterbox, into the room. And the thing comes up and she goes, I heard them last night. They were coming. I could tell. They were nasty little ones. I could taste them. Fraser, any day now. Any day. Sister, we talked about this. Calm down. He'll let them in when we're meant to let them in. Now, in the meantime, we wait. Yes. We wait. All right. I can wait. I'm very good at waiting. Good, sister. Now, just stay there, would you? And he steps away, and she goes, "I'll be here. Just waiting. I can almost taste their blood." He steps away, and the letterbox flips closed. He continues down the path, whistling. And then he stops. He goes, "That's not right. That's not right at all. Oh, Archibald, something's wrong." And he suddenly runs away from you, Jasmine.
Jasmine is going to float through the ceiling, and slightly to the side, and very carefully will lower into the sister's room.
Okay. You go up into the ceiling. Second you are in the ceiling, you are surrounded by hundreds of pieces of art. Paintings, statues, bits of crowns and swords, and all stuffed up here and left to rot. And you really don't feel like you're alone. But you drift through it very slowly. As you come down and start to drift into the sister's room, what you see surprises you. A beautiful woman, dressed very finely in an incredibly tidy room, sits on a beautifully made, freshly made bed. She wears a red, tight-fitting dress, sort of thing she'd wear to a ball, and she's spinning a kitchen knife between her fingers. Goes flicks into the other hand, flicks into the other hand, and she's spinning it over and over again. And you can hear her saying, "I didn't mean to kill him. Or did I? Maybe I meant to kill him. I think I wanted to kill him." And it spins back through her fingers again.
All right. I am unsure right now of what to do. You know what? Yeah, she's gonna try it. Jasmine is going to float lower. Kind of in the middle of the room at the ready. If she's jumped, she's going to fly out of there as soon as she can. But she is going to make herself seen by this woman.
You slide into the room and take human form. And the second
No human form.
No,
No human form.
just make yourself
Face
seen.
In old
Okay.
form for right now.
As you make yourself visible, the woman's knife stops in the left hand. She goes, "Here are you. A new guest. When do you come in? Does the butler know you're here?" She turns to look at you, and she's immaculately made up. Her makeup is perfect.
Jasmine will wait it out for a little longer. Just see what she does.
Head turns to one side, goes, "No, it couldn't be that easy. Not right here. No. Use some kind of new trick of his. Is that it? Some new toy?" She stands up and holds the dagger out and goes, "I bet when I try to cut you, you don't even bleed. Is that it? Some new trick? Let's see." And she's going to try and dive at you.
Yeah, and Jasmine is going to try and get away out. Just
Okay.
float straight to the ceiling as quickly as possible. All right. I assume this is a phase danger.
This is a face danger.
All right. Slight paranoia.
Mm-hmm.
Wisp form. Phase through solid matter. Stronger at night.
Okay.
I think that is... Yeah, I think that's it. All right. Phase danger with a +4. That's an 11.
Right. You dart out of her as the knife goes whoosh, slicing through the air. You arc up through the ceiling and avoid her, and all you hear is this desperate sort of after you as you're gone. And you are back in the ceiling again.
Right, the ceiling.
What
This
are people doing
obvious
outside
thing.
by this point, by the way?
Yeah.
Like a good couple of minutes have passed by at this point.
We're waiting for her to return, really, don't we?
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think anything interesting
Okay.
is happening after that.
Yeah.
Unless
Maybe
it gets like
maybe-
hours into it.
No, it's not hours. At this point, it's like almost an hour. It's getting
Did you
close to
hear
an
anything
hour.
about-
No, you
Has
hear
anything
nothing.
changed?
Nothing. Just the
Okay.
exact same as before. The weird light movement. Apart from that, nothing.
We're completely oblivious to all of the
Okay.
action happening inside.
Jasmine, you are up in the ceiling now.
Yeah, I'm going to take a look around at these art pieces. Do they seem destroyed? Do they seem stowed away and forgotten? Or...
Without an investigation, they seem fine. All of them seem, a lot of them very high quality, a lot of them beautiful, a lot of them very strange. A lot of them very... You see what seems to be a portrait of a man being attacked by like a group of monkeys that are like ripping him to pieces. And it is such a strange portrait that you don't believe anyone would paint this on purpose.
Yeah. Okay.
There's some other things in here that are just like that. Content that is so bizarre and odd that you're struggling to believe that anyone would painted this, especially in the era in which they're painted.
Yeah. Okay, keeping that in mind, Jasmine will now float through the different rooms, the different unoccupied rooms, trying to, as soon as she notices someone coming, she's just going to float into the ceiling again, going to lower back into another room.
You float through a number of rooms.
Yeah.
Before you accidentally... sorry, my voice is going.
Mm-hmm.
You accidentally get too close to one of the windows. And as you sort of slide out of it, back into the open, you find resistance there.
Oh.
And it is as you are floating through the rooms, unoccupied bedroom after bare playroom to nothing, no other people in this house apart from the two that you've seen already, that you notice that you cannot leave here.
Shit.
That as you try to phase through it, you are stuck. And as we leave you there, I'm going to cut across town to Yardsdale University, where a young man is trying to sleep with the pounding of party music in his neighbors' rooms. He's watching the game play out above his head, imagining the world passing by, and he's smiling. There's someone in the bed with him, but he doesn't realize it yet. Her white hand is sliding across his face and across his chest to the handprint she left there. He's smiling. She drifts closer and she says, "I know what I want now." And he doesn't hear her. She takes his hand and they stand up together, and they leave the dorm room. They move into the night. He's just in his pajamas, but he skips along beside her as they walk. She takes him to a place that she knows about. A place that is good for this. There's a man there. Man, short, with greyish hair shaved around the sides of his, just to the bare temples as it left. He takes one look at Isadora and then looks to the white lady and goes, and any, how much do you want gone? She goes, "I think we'll have it all." The man takes a hammer and chisel and turns to a hunk of marble. He bids Isadora sit in front of it, and he begins to carve. When he is done, the likeness looks nothing like Isadora, but everything like Isadora. And unmistakably something has been taken. But Isadora is smiling. The white lady runs forward and runs her fingers over the statue. "It's perfect," she says. And the man nods and goes, "They always ha, you know." She turns and she goes, "I have what I need." Isadora steps back into the night, his brain already forgetting everything that he just experienced, unaware of what has been taken from him, unaware of the world that has been closed off to him. But he is smiling. That night, he returns to his dorm room and joins the people in their room with the pounding music, and sits with them, and chats with them, and laughs with them. And he is smiling. And the White Lady takes her statue in hand, and she has taken her prize. And that is where we're going to end tonight.
All right. Bravo.
Oh, fucking stole my mythos. Can't have shit in Detroit. Oh, man. That was a session.